Hi, welcome to Fourex in 4. I'm Mike Conlon for FXEDU, and in the next 4 minutes, I'm going to show you the highlights of where the action is in today's Forex market. So let's get started.
Good morning. Today is Tuesday, April 5th, 2011. This morning I'm talking about Fed propaganda. And the reason I'm saying that is because today we're due to get a bunch of Fed speak out there. Now everybody knows Fed speak is the the affectionate term for when all these U.S. Fed governors, they go on the road and they everyone's got a different thing to say in this different region of the country. A little bit of pandering to the people, trying to let them know what the Fed's thinking, but all in all it does is end up confusing everybody because one guy says one thing, the other guy says the other thing. Their voting record shows something entirely different. And then we had last night the king of them all, Bernanke. He came out and he was talking about inflation, how it needs to be watched very closely, and that's got some of the market thinking that perhaps he could raise interest rates a lot faster than people are expecting. Well, I've seen this story before, and a lot of times, you have to watch what they do and not what they say because, they're telling you everything you want to hear, but they're not showing you anything. And, last night he's saying he's watching inflation closely, so people are thinking he might raise rates, but the problem is that the inflation metrics that they use, core headline inflation, it's a bogus number, okay? It doesn't really tell the story of what's going on. I believe the component of it is something like 40% housing, and guess what? We're still going to have housing price decline for the next couple of years. Oversupply, the bubble got pumped up too high, interest rates are bound to go higher. If they do, home prices are going to come down, which means that inflation is going to stay low. Now, we could have $150 oil, all right, people screaming at the pump, but he's going to tell you that there's no inflation. So that's one of the problems with the Fed speak going on today. So just there could be some like little minor fluctuations depending upon what any of these guys say, but I wouldn't pay too much attention to it. What's more important is what we're seeing here overnight is that we've got the Aussie dollar down. Now the RBA had its rate policy meeting last night. And as expected, they held rates steady at 4.75%, and they also hinted that they won't be doing any other rate hikes for the remainder of the year. So none of this is unexpected. But what was unexpected is that the Australian trade balance came in showing a deficit of $200 million. Okay, they were expecting a $1.2 billion surplus, came in as a deficit of $200 million. So that's going to be interesting. It looks like now maybe Australian exports are getting a little bit too expensive for people, so exports are declining. Now, the Aussie dollar's worth more. They have this newfound wealth. They're buying a lot of stuff. Imports are increasing. So we're going to have to keep an eye on Australia, see what's happening there. All right, just want to show you the euro real quick. Euro's lower. They're sort of blaming it on this Bernanke speech about, hey, rates might raise, dollar could strengthen based on inflation. I'm not buying it yet this morning. The other news in the Eurozone was fairly positive. PMI index numbers for services came in higher than expected, just slightly, a little bit better. So, that's a good sign there. But the other thing that's happening in the Eurozone is that retail sales declined, all right? They declined 0.1%. They were expecting a gain of 0.1%, and that pushed the year-over-year number down to 0.1%. The year-over-year was supposed to be at 0.6%. So that's a pretty big miss. So I'd say it's probably more a function of the retail sales figures than anything. Here's one for you, the pound. Take a look at the pound. Nice move higher for the pound. Now, this goes ahead of Thursday's rate decision that's coming out with, and also they're having their GDP estimate tomorrow, as is Eurozone. So we got GDP estimates on Wednesday, and then we have the rate policy decisions on Thursdays for both the Eurozone and the UK. So we're looking at the pound. So why is the pound moving so much higher this morning? All right, well, the PMI services index in the UK came in much better than expected. It was expected at 52.6, came in at 57.1, and while it's a fairly significant number, I mean this could show that the signs that the UK economy is improving. All right, we had GDP slip last quarter. Perhaps it's back on track. If the GDP is back on track, that's going to allow the BOE to raise rates. It's not going to happen this Thursday, but potentially start speaking about it or do it for the next meeting. So that's what we're looking at with the pound. All right, lastly, take a look here. I'll just show you real quick. You can see on the board that the Kiwi is pretty much higher across the board. We'll just look at Kiwi Yen. That's not telling us anything. Let's look at Aussie Kiwi. That's much better. All right, you can see the Aussie's been selling off versus the Kiwi, and that's due to Australian dollar weakness, due to the RBA statement, and it's basically money flows moving from Australia into New Zealand with the rate expectations. All right, and lastly, let's take a look at dollar yen here. Dollar yen, yen's weaker across the board, well, with the exception of what's happening here with Australia, well, and actually Europe as well. Europe's pretty flat, but no news out of Japan, but there is a story being floated around that the operators of the nuclear plant in Japan are dumping radioactive water into the sea, so that's not a good thing, unless they plan down the road to potentially charge more for two-headed sushi. So I'm sorry, that's my bad joke for the day. So anyway, that's what we've got. We're looking at it here. Right now, markets are showing a lower open. Commodities pulled back a little bit. So we could see a little bit of dollar strength in this session, but to be honest with you, still no fundamental reasons to flip the dollar around here. So I'd be a little bit concerned about that. The FOMC minutes from the meeting, the rate policy meeting, are coming out later today. So this will be after all these other Fed speakers, and it'll just be one more opportunity for the Fed to float their story and spin the situation and spread the propaganda, so to speak. So that's what I've got for today, folks. Good trading to all.
As always, be sure to check out the written blog at www.fxedu.com to get complete coverage of today's Forex market. If you would like to learn more about how to trade the Forex market from professionals like myself, be sure to check out our affordable Forex trading courses. And if you're already a seasoned professional or aspire to be one, ask us how we can help you achieve your Forex goals. Go to www.fxedu.com to get started today.